Hi everyone, it's been a month since the last update, which means only 2 months left of my presidency, and I'm running right up until the very end. So, because there's only 2 months left, that means there's only about 10 days left that you can still get early bird registration. That expires on March 8th, so get on there, register for Vancouver. I really want to see you in person. If not, we do have virtual options available. So, link below. So in the last 4 weeks, 4 meetings, 4 different places. Here's the recap. February 1st to the 3rd, I and several other members of the Aesthetic Society attended MCAS in Paris. If you haven't been to this meeting, I would strongly recommend you consider checking it out. Really interesting. It's multiple different aesthetic providers, allied providers, injectors, estheticians, I think even beauticians, all of the cores, derms, facial plastics, are in one area. There's over 300 exhibitors, almost 19,000 people there in attendance. However, less than 10% of those were actually surgeons. Now, this used to kind of be a free-for-all, is my understanding. This is the first time I've gone, but now in the last several years, under the tutelage of Sebastian Garcon, it's more regimented. So the conference halls that held surgical panels were really locked down. You could only get in if you had a QR code on your badge that when they scanned it, showed that you were a surgeon. Our ancillary staff couldn't get in to see us present. So not only does the QR code allow you access to the room, it records what rooms you enter. So it's another way to track CME. Really pretty good system, and I think there's a lot we could learn there. I'm not quite sure we're ready for 19,000 because I'm pretty sure our fire marshals are not interested in trying to control that level of chaos. But great meeting. We had great interactions with international plastic surgeons. We met with the Philippines, someone from the Philippines, Dr. Tiango, who we have just renewed our MOU with. We met with representatives from China that we have an ASJ partnership with, as well as people from Germany, Lebanon, and Poland, some of which want to be new members, as well as all the French. All of this international interactions reminds us that thinking globally, we are all stronger together. No one country is an island, and patients interact with each other around the world. We need to interact with each other around the world. So I've included pictures of several of the docs that we've interacted with. I've also included pictures of the MCAS Gala. The MCAS Gala is pretty famous for being pretty extravagant. This was a big dinner for 600 people, fabulous food. But the atmosphere was even more incredible. We had live entertainment throughout dinner, combination of some Cirque, some Moulin Rouge, some disco, singing, dancing. Again, I included pictures below. Those of us in attendance included myself, past President Jennifer Walden. I've got a picture of her and I with the French past president. Kia Mobasagi and his wife Nilu, Jeff Kenkel and his wife Suzanne, Deb White, our CEO Mark Tice, and the ever-present Phaedra Kress. We had a great time at the dinner, and again, great interactions with our internationals. So I got home from Paris on the 4th. On the 7th, I flew to Baker Gordon, where I got to do live surgery. Dr. Stuzen had asked me almost as soon as I stepped down off the podium in Miami last year, and I was able to do live surgery, which went really well because I had the best assistant in the world, Dr. Mary Jane Grass. I've got some pictures of that below. I think it's interesting to point out that Baker Gordon is the longest running aesthetic meeting in the US. It is 58 years old. You know what else is 58 years old? The Super Bowl and me. I mean, I'm standing in great company. What can I say? So on Saturday of Baker Gordon weekend on the 9th, I flew from there to Park City so that I could attend part of ABAM. That's the American Brazilian Aesthetic Meeting put on every year by Renato Salz to help fund his foundation, Image Reborn, which goes to help women who are in recovery from breast cancer. Great meeting. Renato has created this collegial environment with plastic surgeons from around the globe. If you haven't attended and if you like to ski, I recommend you check it out. It's a way to have a great time with great colleagues, with tremendous education, and all for a greater cause. Really great meeting. And again, below we have the dates for next year if you want to put it on your calendar. So after that, I flew home on February 10th. And then last week was at the Northwestern Plastic Surgery meeting. You may or may not remember I attended it last year, if you follow me on social, where it was at Whistler. This year, it was Kona, Hawaii. You see, the Northwest had this great idea several years ago to include Hawaii with the Northwest Plastic Surgery Society. Smart move. So this year it was in Kona. Next year it's in Maui. I am now a double honorary member, having attended 2 meetings in a row and presented. I think I'm going to go for 3. Again, great meeting, great fellowship, great plastic surgeons, great education. And I got to whale watch and see waterfalls. I also got to reconnect with Dr. Nick Vetter. Nick and I go back to Research Council days, back when I was a resident, back when I was first in practice in academics. It kind of goes along the line with what I've always said, that all plastic surgeons are aesthetic surgeons, because I guarantee we close a traumatic wound, we close a carpal tunnel as more aesthetically than, say, an orthopod or a trauma surgeon does. We just do. That's what we do. I think also it's important to realize that plastic surgeons do stay at the cutting edge of research, and a lot of exciting things that are going on with fat grafting and with stem cells all originate with plastic surgeons. It's for this reason and my belief in research that I am still a member of the Plastic Surgery Research Council, and I still pay my dues, guys. Now, this is an excellent segue into the Career Achievement Award, which goes to fund research with our foundation, ACER. This year's recipient is Dr. Lori Cassis. Lori Cassis and I go way back. Long before I met her, I heard stories about her at SIU. If you want to hear those stories, you better come to the business meeting in Vancouver so that Jack Fisher and I can share Lori Cassis' stories. Regardless, again, great segue into Caroline Glicksman's email below, where she's going to talk to you about options for giving and options for promoting and supporting the research that we do at the foundation with the Aesthetic Society. So again, I hope to see you in Vancouver. Please register as soon as possible and look below for the latest pictures from Thor and Loki. Until next time.